class. So, happy Memorial Day week. This week is all about z-scores. So, following along in what we've been doing in statistics, we've learned all about the normal distribution and how to calculate the percentages of values that are different number of standard deviations away from the mean. We know how to calculate a standard deviation, obviously measures of central tendency like mean, median, mode. We know how to display our data in lots of different ways. Now we are going to standardize scores using a z-score. Okay, the whole point of a z-score is to standardize your scores. So if I take a test and there are lots of people in the room and it's hot and it's crowded and that test has one mean, and then you take a test on a different day and it's comfortable there and there's just a few people and it's quiet, and we want to compare our relative scores. Okay, it might look like you got a better score than I did, but if you standardize the score, things might look different. So let me show you how this works. So the z-score is going to tell you how many standard deviations a score is above the mean or below the mean, and you can use it to compare different scores from different distributions. Okay, so if we're going to figure out how many standard deviations away a score is, the way we're going to do it is we're going to take our score and we're going to subtract the mean from it. And then we're going to divide by the standard deviation. So these symbols we haven't encountered yet. These are Greek letters. This is mu, that means mean. And this is sigma, which means standard deviation. So what we're looking at here is x, the score I'm standardizing. X is the score that I'm standardizing, minus the mean, divided by the standard deviation. Okay, so here's an example. A data set has a mean of 25 and a standard deviation of 5. We know what that normal bell curve is going to look like. Calculate the z-score for a data value of 39. So I'm going to take the data value that I'm trying to standardize, 39. I'm going to subtract the mean, 25, and divide by the standard deviation. So for this data set, a data value of 39 has a z-score of 2.8. So here's one that I want you to try on your own. A data set has a mean of 25 and a standard deviation of 5. Calculate the z-score. So you're going to calculate 3 z-scores here. A z-score for a data point of 18, one for 125, and one for 25. Pause the video, give it a try, and then come back and see how you did. Okay, so let's see how you did. We're going to take the data set point of 18. We're going to subtract the mean, and we're going to divide by the standard deviation. So for a data point of 18, the z-score is going to be negative 1.4. That means that that score is 1.4 standard deviations below the mean. 1.4 standard deviations below the mean. Okay, so finding a z-score for 125, you take the score you're trying to find, the z-score for, subtract the mean, divide by 5. Your z-score is 20. You don't see that usually. It's kind of a crazy z-score. And finally, we're looking at a score of 25, and you're going to see how this makes sense in a minute. 25 minus 25 is 0. 0 divided by 5 is 0. My z-score for 25 is 0. That means it's 0 standard deviations above or below the mean, which makes sense because it is the mean. So it's not above or below the mean. It is the mean. So if we're going to interpret these z-scores, we're talking about how many standard deviations away from the mean the data point is. So what we're doing is we're placing it on a normal distribution. We're placing it on a bell curve. And last week we learned about the empirical rule. We're going to interpret it using the empirical rule. Okay, so the human body temperatures have a mean of 98.2 degrees and a standard deviation of 0.62 degrees. An emergency room patient is found to have a temperature of 101 degrees. Convert his temperature to a z-score. Is this temperature ordinary or unusual? What does it suggest? So we're going to use the empirical rule to take the z-score we calculate and interpret it. Okay? So, when we calculate the z-score, we take the 101, subtract the mean, divide by the standard deviation, we get 4.5. That means this temperature is 4.5 standard deviations away from the mean. Now think about the empirical rule. Remember, because we place a z-score on a normal distribution, and we can use an empirical rule for normal distribution. According to the empirical rule, only 0.15%, 0.15% of temperatures would be 3 standard deviations or more. 3 standard deviations or more above. Okay, he's 4.5 standard deviations from the mean. So his temperature is extremely unusual. He's very sick. Okay, so I want you guys to pause your video and try this problem on your own. The Beanstalk Club is limited to men and women who are very tall. The minimum height requirement for a woman is 70 inches. Women's heights have a mean of 63.6 inches and a standard deviation of 2.5 inches. Find the z-score corresponding to a woman with a height of 70 inches and determine whether that height is unusual. So pause the video here and try to figure out whether 70 inches is an unusual height for women according to this mean and standard deviation, and then come back and see how you did. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start by finding the z-score for 70. So that means we're going to take 70, we're going to subtract our mean, 63.6, divide by our standard deviation, we're going to get a z-score of 2.56. That means that 70 inches is 2.56 standard deviations away from the mean. Okay, think about the empirical rule. Think about anything 2 or higher standard deviations, what percentage of scores that would be. Anything above 2 standard deviations is going to be considered unusual in most cases. So yes, a height of 70 inches is unusual in this case. Okay, we're going to go ahead and talk about relative position, and that's the last thing we'll talk about in this video. The relative position refers to where an observation is in relation to the mean, where we're basically comparing 2 different data points to figure out which is relatively better. Okay, so for example, a z-score of 1.95 is relatively better than a z-score of 1.87. Okay, so we're trying to figure out which is relatively higher or relatively better. We're comparing 2 different data points that might come from 2 different distributions, but we're trying to compare them. So that's why we standardize it with a z-score. This is what I was talking about at the beginning of the video. So let's figure out this example problem. We've got Michael Jordan. He's 78 inches tall. Okay. We're going to want to find a z-score for him. So we're going to talk about men's heights being an average of 69 inches. There's the mean. And the standard deviation is 2.8. Okay. So Michael Jordan's z-score would be 78 minus 69 divided by 2.8. His z-score is 3.21-ish. And then let's look at Rebecca Lobo, who is 76 inches tall. Mean height for women is 63.6 inches, and standard deviation for women is 2.5. So let's find her z-score. Divide by 2.5, we get 4.96. Okay, so here is Michael Jordan's z-score. Here's Rebecca Lobo's z-score. What this is telling us, because she has a higher z-score, what that means is that she is taller for a woman than Michael Jordan is for a man. Compared to women, Rebecca Lobo is taller than Michael Jordan is compared to men. Okay, so this is one case where we can standardize scores and say that Rebecca Lobo is taller than Michael Jordan. It's how we manipulate the statistics. So here's a practice problem for you to work on. Please pause the video and try it yourself before you come back and see how you did. In a certain city, the mean price of a quart of milk is 0.8989 cents, and the standard deviation is 11 cents. The average price for a package of bacon is $2.69, and the standard deviation is 15 cents. If we pay $1.09 for a quart of milk and $3.19 for a package of bacon at 7-Eleven, which is relatively more expensive? So go ahead and give this a try. Pause the video. I'll wait. Okay. Let's find the standard deviation for our bacon and our milk. So we paid $1.09 for milk, and mean price for milk is 89 cents. Standard deviation for milk is 11 cents. So that means we're looking at $1.09 minus 89 cents divided by 11 cents. We're looking at 1.82 for the milk. So then we're looking at bacon at $3.19. The average is $2.69 divided by the standard deviation, 15.15. That gives us 3.33 for our z-score. So in this case, our bacon is relatively more expensive than our milk is in this situation, because 3.33 is a higher z-score than 1.82. Okay, hopefully that clears things up about finding z-scores. Reach out if you have questions. Have a good week.